Good evening. I'll be glad to see everybody here tonight. I want to thank the elders for this opportunity to be able to bring a little bit of Latin America to the congregation here with Latin American Missions, to be able to give you an overview of what's been going on for the last 2 years. I was supposed to do this last year, but time didn't permit it because of too many things going on between me and Paul with dates and everything. So we're going to bring it to you this year. I want to thank everybody for their continuous prayers while I'm on the road, and we're all on the road in campaigns and out and working. I'm going to start off with a little bit with, let me get my clicker here. We're going to do a little review starting with 24. The year 24, we're going to talk a little bit about the 2 campaigns that were medical evangelistic campaigns that I was a part of. We're going to actually also talk about the S2 campaigns just briefly. We're just going to talk briefly on those, and later we'll actually get into the Panama work in Panama with the School of Americas, the Bible School of Americas. We'll talk about that actually in our part of 2025. You guys are going to get the shortened version of it. I talked to Paul when I got done with my first version of it. He says, you might want to shorten that. So you're going to get the 45-minute version of it. No, I'm kidding. Hopefully it won't be that long. We're going to start off with a little bit of information. The work in Latin America is overseen by the elders of the Forest Park congregation in Valdosta, Georgia. This is a work that me and Trina have been passionate about for over 35 years. We've been involved with it. We kind of have changed the way we do things a little bit now because we kind of go down there a lot more. But we're going to start off with 2024 medical campaign, and this is in Chimbote, Peru. And this is we showed you a little bit about the town. It's kind of a barrio. I don't know if you guys know what a barrio is. I had to look it up too and find out what a barrio was. A barrio is a very, very poor town. And a barrio is usually outside of a bigger town or a city, but they're very poor. They may not have electricity, running water, pretty much anything. It's just pretty much a place to live. So that's our barrio. Now here's our team that came in on our first campaign. This is the first campaign that I actually co-directed on this particular one. And as you see there in the picture, you're going to see there that you've got Michelle McLeod, Caitlin Wyatt, Tim Moore, and myself. We're the ones that went on this particular campaign. And we have in this picture here, what I'm trying to show is that we have medical people and non-medical people. We have approximately maybe 75 people that go, and about 90% of the people on the teams on the medical campaign are non-medical. So it's not, we call it a medical, but more or less it's an evangelistic campaign. We use the word medical, and we use it as a tool to get people to come to the village, to the area we're going to be in. Because if you have a medical need, just want to get something seen, you're going to come, walk, ride your bike, horse, wherever, to come see us. That gives us a chance to get you to come to us and for us to have a Bible study with you. We're going to start off here with Michelle McLeod. Michelle McLeod is a nurse. She worked in the triage area. She was triaging patients all day long. Also, when we first get down there, all of our medicine comes in bulk. So we have to take it, we have to separate it, we have to count it out, we have to put it in bags. And this is on every campaign. So if you want to do some sorting of medications, you think you can do that, come on down. We got that going on all the time. Our next person was Caitlin Wyatt. Caitlin Wyatt is actually a nurse practitioner, so she works as a doctor, and she's seeing patients all day long. Sometimes the patients are four-legged that come to her. If you see in the top corner there, she's got a little dog visiting her and just staring at her the whole time. But Caitlin is a big asset to the work up there because she's able to see people, diagnose, treat people. We have medications to be able to help people. Our next person is Tim Moore. Tim Moore he works maintenance. And this is one guy that I haven't seen anything he can't do. I mean, Tim Moore is continuously either doing electrical, he's doing plumbing. They put up this water tower and they had to run water through it. And he also had a visitor that came and visited him, another dog there, and just staring him down, wanting lunch and stuff. What do? We're down there during the day, and medical campaigns going on. So we have Bible studies going on all around us. We have people door knocking. We have things pretty much for all ages. We have during the day when a parent may be in waiting to see the doctor, we'll have some classes or have something going on for the children. Or when the parents are in a Bible study, we'll have something for the children. These pictures you see here are actually, some of them are from Bible studies going on at the bottom there. The top one is actually a converts class. So in the evening, we have probably about 4 classes going on. We have our classes for young children, new converts, teens, and then we have our preaching campaign going on. So we're busy all over the place teaching, and that's the main goal of what we're down there for. And myself, I got made fun of and teased a lot. One of my jobs was to keep the dogs out of the clinic. I'm doing a good job of it here. I had a broom and I would try to keep them out. Well, it came to the point where I just finally gave up because I realized the dogs just want to be a part of everything that's going on. So as you see, this is Sunday morning communion. Dogs just staring there as we were praying. Baptisms, dogs come around and just stand there, watch the baptisms. So finally gave up and let them just run free. Now we're going to change. We're going to go to a second location. This is Zambrano, Honduras. Nobody went on this campaign with me. It was just me and then the team from all over the United States. Some of the pictures you see here are from that. We're just going to go through this just a little bit about Zambrano. Our clinics are all pretty much set up the same. We have registration. They go through triage. They see doctors. They go to pharmacy. They may go and see an optometrist. Sometimes we have physical therapists. So we have a lot of different people who are working on the teams with us. And as you see here, going through medications once again. Okay, as you see here, people waiting in line, people being patient, grandmothers bringing their children, grandmothers bringing, family members. We had actually one grandmother that we kind of thought she was coming back, like she was trying to get seen multiple times. And then we realized she brought 5 different family members because each time she'd come back, she had a different family member with her. So you just don't know how many are going to be able to come. And, a lot of times the men aren't able to come at the beginnings because they're working in the fields. Our teen evangelism. This particular campaign, we had quite a few teens. And here's something that was interesting, is that this is the first time I've ever been on a campaign where the schools, the elementary schools and the high schools, we actually went in for about 4 days straight into the classrooms and actually were able to teach Bible. How many places here in the United States can we go into school and be able to teach Bible? But this was a group of some of our youth that went with us on this campaign. Once again, during the day, we have Bible classes for the children that are going on. In the evening, we have Bible classes for the children so that parents can be able to listen to the lessons, to be able to study, to be able to be a part of what's going on. As I said before, we're just going to briefly go over a little bit about the Yes campaign. If you notice there's a yes, it says 2. Okay, yes, there is a yes 1, or actually a yes. The Yes campaign itself is actually started many years ago, and it's actually at the Forest Park congregation. Every year they have a group get together, like a teen get together from all over the United States, and they have some sometimes 500-600 kids that show up and are housed throughout the area. That's the original YAS. And so that's here in the States. Well, then they came up with, hey, if we can do this here, why don't we do the same type of thing in other countries? So they couldn't use the word yes by itself, so they went yes too. This one here, this is David, Panama. Also, we were able to go in to the schools and to be able to teach in the schools here. This is Gusimo, Costa Rica. We're in the schools here. But what I want to point out here is the gentleman down, he'd be on far right side, one with the ball cap on. That gentleman right there, he's actually the director of Latin American missions, and he handles pretty much all the things that are going on down there in Latin America. That's Kerry Gillis. So he's the one that if I need anything or when anything's going on, we call him. So Kerry's the main director of Latin American missions there. Arequipa, Peru. As you see, it's another kind of a desolate area. This was the group that went on this particular campaign. And I don't understand, but Peru seems like the teams are growing bigger and bigger every year. A lot of people want to go to Peru. But the gentleman there also on the far right, he is Travis. He's one of the elders at the Forest Park congregation. He follows up and does a lot to do with the work in at Forest Park and through Latin American missions campaigns and also through the School of Americas. Let's take a look real quick at Matthew 28:19. It says, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and in the name of the Son and of the Holy Spirit." This is why we're down there. And they were added to the church daily, as it says in Acts 16:5. When I originally put this together, I had probably 15 different pictures of baptisms. They're just coming in and overlapping. Because there's so many. How do you pick out of all the people who are baptized, added to the church, a couple people? It's difficult. Now we're going to go with a little bit of the stats. This is 2024. The statistics for 2024, we did over 2,400 door knocking. We did over 57, I got my notes here, contacts, and we have 330 hot contacts and over 1,000 Bible studies and 55 baptisms and 2 restorations. A hot contact is actually, and this is for all 5 campaigns, so you're talking a 5-week period. A hot contact is somebody we've been studying with or wants to study more. They're very interested, and so we have to go back and study with them more. One thing about it too is a lot of people don't quite understand is that these villages we're going into, they already have the church established there. They're small, but they need help. They've got preachers there, or a preacher there. When we leave, we don't leave that preacher with nothing, no help or anything like that. We will actually have native preachers from the area come in every week and assist them, go into door knockings to these hot contacts, and continually work with them for several months until things slow down. Go, whoops, went too far. All right, let's get into 2025, Latin American. This one here, we're going to talk about short-term missions with the long-term goals, of course. We're going to talk about the medical mission evangelistic campaigns. We're going to talk about the work in the Bible School of the Americas. First of all, we're going to start off with Orel, Peru. Orel, Peru is actually like a city. It's a little bit bigger, but not quite as big as some of the other ones. And you'll hear us say cities, towns, there's barrios, they're all different places, they're all different sizes and different, but they're all pretty much poor areas. Here's our team members for Orel, Peru. We had Tim Moore, we had Dr. Tori Sandy, we had Nicole Floyd, and myself. It's for these pictures. Let's talk a little about Tori. Tori was down there. This was his first campaign. Not for sure what exactly he expected, but I didn't know what he would expect too. But he went through the campaign very well, made friends. The girl next to him is Sandra. She's actually a dentist. When we were getting ready to leave, I saw him sitting down with the youth and talking and smiling and having fun with them. Also, since he's the doctor, he got kept pretty busy. He would see children, he would see older adults. One of the pictures here shows a very older adult that's in a wheelchair that he worked with. So we're seeing all ages and all kinds of different things. He did see some new things that he hadn't seen before. Tim Moore. Tim Moore, this is his second trip. On this trip, Tim's not afraid to do anything. Take out the trash, go across and get some sodas for the staff, for the cooking staff. I even saw him at one point in time. Yes, he does sit down at times. And he tried to get me last year in all kinds of pictures of sitting down, which I did not use. But I saw him out one day. He was out cleaning the street. He had a shovel and he was cleaning the street. So Tim would do all kinds of stuff. He was always busy. Nicole, my daughter Nicole. Every time I saw Nicole either had a child hanging on her, a child in her arms. She was always smiling and having fun with the kids. But what I wanted to mention about Nicole mainly is that when we first got there, we're trying to set up in this really tiny church building our whole campaign. And it was really hectic. I mean, people were like, well, what do we do? Where do we go? This stuff. Nicole, she jumped in and she took over and she set everything up, got us all running the way we should run. So she directed it all. She was just perfect for that. And here's with a couple of our friends. The gentleman down there also on, well, the left this time with Nicole, that is John Farber. You've probably heard the name Farber before. Jack Farber is his dad. Jack Farber's been involved with the work for like ever. And John actually grew up in Panama for a few years, came back to the States. He is the one I actually work with. So we do all the campaigns, the medical evangelistic campaigns together. I have not been on a Yes 2 campaign. We do have a member here this year who is looking at going on a campaign to the Yes campaign next year, and I hope that works out. Also, the two gentlemen, which is Pablo and Luis, those two are actually, they're Peruvian, but they're graduates of the School of Americas. We have learned that if we didn't have the school, we would not have the campaigns, the evangelistic campaigns, the Yes campaigns, the medical campaigns, because the people that we bring to help us, they're graduates of the school. And we'll talk a little bit more about the school here in a little bit. All right, we're moving on to Gracias, Honduras. So now we've left Peru, we're in Honduras. This is the town, and this is actually what they call a city. This is a small city in Honduras. On this campaign, the only one that joined me was my daughter from North Carolina, Amanda. And this is a picture of our group. It's our group plus some of the preachers and some of our translators. It's a nice picture because this is taken actually the very last day that we're in Honduras. We always have a get-together, dinner together, everybody dresses up nice, and that's why it doesn't look like most of the pictures you're seeing. It's because it's a nicer atmosphere at that time. Once again, one of the jobs that Amanda was brought into is a photographer. She was brought down there as a photographer to be able to document the campaign by photographs. A lot of the photographs that we use in some of our magazines or different things are from hers. The birds up there she took, friends that she's made. And what's interesting is we were having some chaos in pharmacy with packaging medications and trying to get it all together. And she started saying, okay, she took kind of control in that area and helped facilitate that. And she even made me package medicines. And I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to be doing everything else. But she got me to do that. Now I want to introduce you to a few people. And I want to tell you a story on this one. Shasta, which is from the Sunset Church of Christ in Taylor, Michigan, and Robin from the Franklin Road Church of Christ in Pontiac. These two ladies, and Shasta's the one in the blue, and the white down at the bottom is Robin. We were having very hard time on this particular campaign before we even had the campaign. We needed a pharmacist. The pharmacist that we had going with us had to back out. And without a pharmacist, it's kind of hard to have a medical team because you can't pass out the medicine. So we started praying about it and praying. And Robin came to a gospel meeting with a friend here that we had. And she saw some of our stuff, and we started talking with her. And we just started telling her about the work and what was going on. And she said, well, I have a friend who's a pharmacist. I said, really? She says, yeah. So then we ended up getting a phone call, and she was wanted to know more information. Shasta did. She wanted to know more about what the trip was about, what's going to be happening and all. And she didn't say she was going to go, but she said she would pray about it. But she forgot one thing, is that there's other people who are praying that she's going. She may have been praying that, come on, but we were praying that she would go. She went, and so did Robin. Their very first trips and stuff like that. And I believe they're going back. At least I'm hoping that Shasta's coming back. All right, during the day, once again, this is what it's about. Bible studies. Study, all over the place. We are studying the Bible. We have groups everywhere. And what's the outcome? Outcome is souls saved. I want to tell you a little. I actually changed the title of this one, but it didn't get changed here. I put faith, but then after I started thinking about it, it's trust. The lady you see there in the picture, she can't walk at all. And they literally had to lift her and put her in John's arms. And I don't know about you guys, but if somebody's taking me and putting me in somebody's arms in water, because they're not used to water like this, I would probably be moving around and trying to, hold on tight and be afraid. This woman did not have any fear, not whatsoever. She had the faith that what was happening was the way it's supposed to be. She didn't scratch, she didn't grab, she just relaxed and was baptized. And this is one of your new sisters. Now, we show you these, but that's not the end of the story, because when we leave there, the stats that we're showing you, those are stats at that particular time that 5-week period, and here's the stats for 2025, over 3,000 door knocks, 7,000 contacts, 389 hot contacts, 1,100 Bible studies, 77 baptisms, 7 restorations. Well, I keep in touch with the preachers from these two villages, especially right now. And they are having baptisms almost every other week. So it's still continuously. So how many do they have there? Their congregations are growing. Now we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the Bible School of the Americas, which is where we spend more of our time. The school started over 60 years ago. They've had over 700 graduates of Native men from 15 different countries. So we bring in Native men from different countries. They spend 2 years at the school getting their education. If they're married, if they have their spouses, they come along too. They're there, they live there, and they spend all their time studying. Picture here is me and Trina. We call this our home away from home. We spent a month there, 4 weeks last year. And we're going to go through each week just briefly. We live on the property in apartments. They call them apartments for visitors. They have stove, refrigerator, most of the conveniences. We do have air conditioning in the bedrooms, but that's about it. So they're adequate. They're fine. On the first week that we got down there, it's the future preachers training camp going on. At this camp, they bring in over 250 young men, ages 14 to 24, and they have other people who come with them to assist and help. And they are taught how to teach. They actually do their own Bible lessons. Some of them learn to sing or how to direct in singing, but they live right there, work there. One of the things that we did is we assisted the cooks. It may sound like that's not much, but when you got that many kids and you got to serve them breakfast, lunch, and dinner, those women in the kitchen are working all the time. This is our team for the 2025. And this was the second week. These team members came in the second week. You've got Ken Hickmott, Mark Rutledge, Larry, Chris, and Kinsey Hennessy, and then Trina and I. And what did we do down there? Well, when they came in, it was really close to the weekend there. We ended up going to one of the local congregations, and we worked with them. And Chris, you see in the picture here, is working in one of the children's classes. They love it when we come down there because they'll put us to work. You know, they'll have us do prayer. They'll have us assist in classes. So they love the help from us. Now, on these campaigns, because these are different, these are maintenance campaigns. As you see in the picture here, the first thing we have to do is we've got to clean the building. We've got to scrape the rust off, scrape paint off, get it all cleaned up so that we can paint. Here we got a couple pictures of before, and then the far one down the bottom is after. Looks a little better. So it's a continuous painting of the buildings. The weather, how harsh it is down there, with the sun, with the rains, every year everything has to be repainted. Not just repainted, there's other things that have to be done. Here's a quick picture of one of the other buildings that we got finished up. Here's some pictures of Chris and Mark. They were painting those bars black. And of course, their paint is very thin, so they had to be very careful and not to get it all over the place. Okay, this one is going to be week number 3. Week number 3, Larry and Chris and Mark and everybody's kin, they've all gone back home. So this is the third week that we're down there. And Trina takes all the students, all the staff, all their families, and she will take and triage every one of them, check their mouths to see if there's any emergency needs or any dental needs that really need to be done. If she finds any needs that needs to be done on the students, then she will take them to a local dentist, and she will wait with them, get them taken care of. On the top corner there, you'll see that's the actual doctor and two of her staff that helped, and they were very, very well to us. We would just tell them, well, we'll be back the next day, and then she would tell us how many people we could bring. The four gentlemen down at the bottom actually all went to the dentist over the period of time that we were there, but there was quite a few others that also went. Also on that last week, Trina had a chance that she got to work and talk with the ladies and taught them how to do children's crafts for teaching. You see her in the back teaching them how to do crafts. Now this is going to be the last week. The last week that we're down there this particular year was the new students are coming in, and they're getting ready to start their new session. So in the picture you see up there, you've got first year students and second year. It's 2 years, so we've got half of them. Usually there's 10 first year and 10 second year, so we're constantly rotating. The bottom picture down there, you'll see some of the gentlemen and stuff waving, because that is actually our last picture, because people, when we're leaving the property to actually fly back home, nobody wants us to go. They're all waving bye, but they don't want us to go. In fact, I keep in touch with them all. Here's a list of the campaigns for next year. If anybody wants to go to any of these, you'll see me, let me know. As we wrap this up, I want to read this part here from Mark. It says, "Go into the world and preach the gospel to all creation." You may say, well, you know, I can't go to a foreign country. I'm too ill. I'm too old. But I want you to ask yourself one question. I want you to ask yourself this question. Where's the world? Okay? Where is the world? The world starts right outside these doors. It's not necessarily a foreign country. It's your neighbors. It's your brothers. It's your sisters. It's your family. So we have to remember, we're all evangelists. We don't have to go to a foreign country to do this. We need to start evangelizing here too. Yes, the fields are ripe and to harvest in a lot of the foreign countries in Latin America, but we need to get the fields ready. Does it say anywhere that we're going to see the harvest right now? We are to plant the seed. We tell everybody on our campaigns, you know, we may not have baptisms, but our job is at least to plant the seed. At this time, if you have any requests or prayers or anything that you need the help from the elders or from the families here, or if you are struggling in any way, or you know what's right, you know what it takes to be a family member. I've shown you pictures. That's what it takes. It takes you stepping up, stepping out, being baptized, and living for Christ. If we can assist you in becoming a part of the body of Christ, let's just stand and come forward at this time.